everyone, this week we are making cinnamon whirls, and in your delivery you will receive butter, flour, sugar, yeast and cinnamon. For this recipe you will need to add some milk, an egg, it is optional, the egg, and a pinch of salt. Okay. The equipment you will need is a bowl, a measuring jug, a rolling pin and some weighing scales. The first task you have to do is you have to separate your sugar and your butter to the ingredients that you need. Okay, so for your dough you need 50 grams of sugar. We've given you 90 grams of sugar, but you need to separate it, so you need a 50 and a 40. And there we are. So there, I have 50 in my bowl and 40 in my bag. So the 40 will be for the filling, the 50 will be for my dough. And then we take our butter, and you've been given 150 grams of butter, but you need 75 for the dough. So half. There we go, perfect. So step one, we now put our dry ingredients into a bowl. So empty all of your flour, your salt, your sugar, and half of a packet of your supplied yeast. A little bit more, there we go. What we're going to do is then melt our butter and our milk together. Now, there's two ways that you can do this. You can put your bowl in the microwave. You only want it warm, you don't want it boiling, so you can put it in the microwave, and then once the butter melts, that's absolutely fine. Or you can melt your butter and your milk together in a saucepan on the hob. Okay. So, mix your dry ingredients together, and then our melted butter and milk we are going to pour into the dry ingredients. Then mix it all in until it starts forming a dough. Make sure you get right around the edges. And there you go, can you see it starting to form now? Scrape some of it off the spoon. You can go in with these. It's very sticky, but then it all comes together. It feels lovely and warm because the yeast is now starting to act. So there we are. Now, so place some flour on your work surface, and then take your dough, and we are now going to knead it, and you need to knead it to work the yeast, to activate the yeast. Set your timer because we're going to be kneading it for 10 minutes. Okay, so when you've used your muscles after that 10 minutes, you should have a lovely smooth dough. Now we need to put it somewhere warm so that the yeast can activate even further. Now the recipe recommends that you get your bowl and you put a tiny bit of oil in the bottom of the bowl, and then if you rub the oil around the inside of the bowl, place your bread inside, and then we cover it with cling film, and we're going to put it somewhere warm. Now I'm in the kitchen at Park Farm House, and the shelf, which is next to the radiator, will be lovely and warm for that. Now we're going to let it rise for 30 minutes to our filling. So in a bowl, I'd like you to empty, I've cut the butter up nice and small because then it's easy to work with. Empty the remainder of your sugar. And then you need 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. 1, 2. And then we're going to mix it all together. Our dough has increased in size and much heavier as well. So we've done our 30 minutes of it proving. So sprinkle some flour onto your surface and we're going to roll this out. We want it a nice rectangular size. Flour your rolling pin as well so it doesn't stick. So we want to roll it out to a nice rectangular size. And we want it about 7 millimeters thick. I think we're going to be a little bit more, maybe a little bit thinner, because it does need to be able to roll like that. I think that's it. I think take your filling that you've made and we're going to put the filling and spread it over the top of the dough. It smells amazing. I know it's January, February time, but it does smell very Christmassy with the cinnamon. And we're going to spread it evenly over the dough. Go. And there we are, so we've completely covered it, all of the edges. What we're going to do now is we're going to roll it. So you get your long edge and you fold it in just a little bit. And then we're going to roll it. We want to kind of get like a Swiss roll effect. So then we're going to roll it over. Okay. Once we've rolled it, we then get our cling film and we're going to cover it with cling film, and then to make it easier to cut, we are then going to place it into the fridge for 30 minutes. Dough has cooled down after being in the fridge. We are then going to cut it up into about 1 centimetre circles, and can you see you have your swirls? I've lightly greased a baking tray. I have used greaseproof paper, but it's not necessary. And then we're going to place them on the tray. Once you've laid them all out on your baking tray, then with your egg, as in the instructions, if you don't have an egg, don't worry about it. You can glaze the top of these with milk. It will come out exactly the same. So then just glaze the top of them with the egg or the milk. There we are. So once you've covered them with your egg or milk, then we are going to put some more cling film over the top of the baking tray, and unfortunately we have to leave them for another 20 minutes to rise. So put them somewhere warm and let them rise now for another 20 minutes. Wow. As we can see, they have doubled in size, which is pretty amazing. I've just shown you one tray. I had enough to make 2 trays, so you're going to have so many yummy cinnamon whirls. Put them in the oven. So electric oven at 220, fan assisted oven at 200, gas mark 7, and we're going to put them in the centre of the oven for 8 minutes. So our 8 minutes is up, and we will very carefully take them out of the oven They smell amazing and they look delightful. Enjoy, have fun.